So I think I'll start. Not so long ago, I was someplace and someone got up, looked at me and said, "I love your passion, but I don't understand anything you're saying." Not the way to say it. I love your passion, but the things you are saying are new. Then you'll start to understand what I'm talking about. But as long as you say, "I don't understand you," you never will. Never will. That doesn't go with only what I'm saying, what anybody is saying. It's new, true. I give you information that you can't even find in the books today. And I'll give you some of it tonight. Now sometimes I wonder how these anatomists a couple of hundred years ago gave the names to the particular organs or parts of organs that they did. Now let us take the intestines, and that starts right after the stomach. And the first one is called the duodenum, meaning 12 inches. But the one after that is called the jejunum. Now let's review what goes on in the jejunum. In the jejunum, we have villi. Food is digested to a good degree in the mouth. Then in the stomach, then it comes down into the duodenum, where the pancreas just hits it with all its juices and so forth and so on, and then it goes into the jejunum. Now what does jejunum mean? I'm starving. That's what it means. I'm starving. Now why is it called that? There's a reason for all things. See, I'm a vitalist, but I'm also a structuralist or mechanistic, if you like. But there's a reason for all things. Why did they call it jejunum? They didn't know. But somehow this is what they called it. Now let's examine it. In the jejunum, proteins are ready to be taken in as amino acids. And sugars and starches are also taken in, and so are the fats. And then they're brought into the bloodstream. And I'm going to leave it there. Now, what happens after all this stuff is taken in? Well, we really don't digest. We just send it out into another piece called the ileum. I-L-E-U-M. Ileum. And no one knows what this is all about. But it has, before it goes into the colon, a valve, which they call the ileocecal valve. And the word cecum, or cecal, is Latin, means blind. But the pronunciation is wrong. It's caecum, because it's not really spelled C-E-C-U-M, C diphthong A-E-I, cum, fine. And from that sac at the bottom, we have an appendix called the vermiform appendix. An appendix means anything that just hangs. And vermiform means worm-like. All these things have a meaning. We say, oh, it's a vestigial. And we cut it out and throw it away. It's there for a reason. Let's find out. So, if we are starving to death inside, is there any reason why there shouldn't be starvation on the outside? The greatest crime today is to not to feed the people who are starving to death. And if we want to get rid of this, putting up a soup house is going to alleviate it. But once you put up one soup house, as Owaspy says, then you need the second one and the third one. And the first thing you know, you have big government controlling us. And that's what they want. That's what they want. Big government controlling us. And it even came into our most noble calling, chiropractic. Control us. Control us. Now, if this is not the way that we have to digest our materials that we eat, then what is the way? This is what I'm going to tell you. We have to go through a metamorphosis. And I'm going through it, and many of you are going through it, but you don't recognize it. I do. And the metamorphosis is two things going on at once. Number one, in the center here, we have inside a valley. And that valley is called the mediastinus. Not it will become later on. And mediastinus means a dredge, a slave. Now, when we form ourselves in our mother's womb, for the first 3 months, the heart is in the center. But coming on the 4th month, it starts to invade the left side or field. And it invades it so heavily that it takes even one of the lobes away from the lungs. Because the right side has 3 lobes, and we have 2 lobes here. Do we have a picture here, you think, of that I had here?